Hey everyone, it's Caitlin and welcome to another video. This video, if you can't tell by the background, is holiday themed, and today I'm going to be sharing 2 holiday breakfast recipe ideas with you. So whether you celebrate breakfast with your family on Christmas morning or you celebrate some other holiday, these recipes are perfect for everyone to enjoy, and they're really cozy, satisfying, seasonally appropriate, and just so happen to be gluten-free and vegan. So we have a sweet recipe and a savory recipe depending on what you prefer. We're going to start it with a savory recipe today. This video is also proudly sponsored by Nasoya Tofu. I'm going to be using their organic silken tofu in this breakfast casserole. So we're using the tofu and a few other secret ingredients that will be revealed in like the next 2 minutes as you watch the video, to make a sort of crustless quiche. I don't know if you guys have ever had breakfast casserole. Sometimes it's called strata. It's made with more bread. This one actually has hash browns as a base, but you will see all that soon. And then for our sweet recipe today, we're going to be making some maple pecan baked oatmeal, which is just as yummy, but you know, if you like sweet food over savory, savory over sweet, you got 2 options. So without further ado, let's get into the recipes. All right, let's get straight into it. We're going to start with our vegan breakfast casserole. So first we're going to make our vegan egg base, and the main ingredient for this is Nasoya's organic tofu in the silken texture. I really like their tofu because it's made from minimal ingredients, it's organic, and silken tofu in particular is great for this recipe because it's nice and silky, hence the name, and has a nice kind of texture to it that we're looking for when we want a baked egg casserole. So, like I said, we're going to add our silken tofu in a blender. I just cubed it up to make it easier to blend later. And we're also going to add some chickpea flour, which is going to help thicken the mixture, some nutritional yeast, which gives this casserole a nice cheesy flavor without the need for any cheese, some turmeric for color, some salt for salt, and then I'm also adding some black pepper here, but you can also add in any other spices that are speaking to you at the moment. And then we're just going to blend this up until it's nice and creamy, and in the meantime, we're going to layer our vegetables for the casserole in the pan, so no extra bowls here. I just sprayed a nonstick pan with some cooking oil. You could also line it with parchment paper if you'd like, but into the pan we're going to use some hash browns, some white onion, some minced garlic, diced red bell pepper, some sliced cremini or baby bella mushrooms, and then here I'm adding some frozen spinach that I just thawed, but if you want to saute some fresh spinach and then add that in, that's totally fine. That being said, you could really use any veggies you like here. We're using the hash browns as the main base and to give our casserole some volume, but feel free to add in roasted sweet potatoes, different colored bell peppers, really whatever veggies suit your fancy. I was just kind of going for a red and green holiday theme here, and then I added mushrooms because I love mushrooms. But either way, rambles aside, now we're going to add in our blended egg mixture. As you can see, it's nice and thick. I just really wanted to make sure I scraped all of it out of the blender so we're getting all of that goodness into our casserole. But now we're going to just use the spatula to mix it directly in the pan. Again, we just want to save the need to dirty an extra bowl, and this works perfectly fine. Just make sure all the veggies are distributed pretty evenly, and then you can use the spatula to smooth out the top. The casserole will rise like a tiny bit, but the marks that you leave on the top are pretty much going to stay on the casserole, so just try to be as neat as possible. Now we're going to pop this baby into the oven to cook for about an hour, and then afterwards we get this nice golden egg casserole inspired goodness. You want to let the casserole sit for a few minutes just so it can set at room temperature, but once it cools a bit, you can slice it up and serve it warm, or you can make this ahead of time and just reheat it on the day of your holiday meal. The full instructions for that will be in the blog post as well, but either way, I just wanted to show you guys this texture is pretty egg-like, and I love how this is loaded with veggies and plant-based protein, so it tastes good and it is good for you too. Pretty sweet. Now that's done, so we're going to move on to our sweet recipe and make some maple pecan baked oatmeal. Again, this recipe is really simple, but really flavorful and yummy too, which makes it perfect for a holiday breakfast. So to start out, we're going to add some non-dairy milk to a bowl. I actually used homemade pecan milk here to enhance the maple pecan flavor, but you can really use any store-bought or homemade milk that you like. We're going to add in some maple syrup for sweetness and maple flavor, plus some vanilla extract, some cinnamon, some baking powder, salt, and last but not least, some ground flax. You're just going to take a whisk and whisk all that together until it's pretty evenly incorporated. Then we're going to add in our oatmeal. I'm using rolled oats here. I think they have the best texture in oatmeal, so I prefer to use those. Then we're also going to add some chopped pecans, and last but not least, I'm adding in some chopped dates here because I felt like that was very seasonally appropriate, and I like the natural sweetness that dates have, but you could also use another chopped fruit if you'd like. I think cherries would be really good. If you like raisins, they'd also be great here. here, or you could just leave the fruit out. Either way, you're going to take a spoon and just mix everything till it's pretty evenly distributed, and then we're going to pour it into a pan. I'm using an oval pan here, but a square like 8x8 or 9x9 pan will work as well. It's still going to cook pretty evenly, so you're just going to spread the mixture out evenly with your spoon, pop this into the oven, and we're going to bake it in the middle rack until it comes out looking nice and golden and fluffy. So this, you don't really have to wait for it to set, though if you do let it cook completely, it will be a little firmer, and whenever you're ready to serve it, you can just go ahead and scoop a portion out. This recipe could very comfortably serve, I'd say 4 to 8 people, depending on what else you decide to serve it with. So unlike stovetop oatmeal, baked oatmeal has a much firmer texture, and it's almost kind of like a soft granola bar, if you will, and I think this makes it the perfect vessel for toppings. So I decided to serve my baked oatmeal with some seasonal fruit, and I added some pecan seeds. I thought this would be great for some nice holiday red and green flavor again. Then I also served it with some candied pecans. I have this recipe up on my blog, I will link it below, as well as a dollop of coconut yogurt for some extra creaminess, and of course we got to get that drizzle of maple syrup on top to really bring this maple pecan oatmeal to the next level. But that's pretty much it. You can serve it with whatever you like. You can serve it plain, you could add banana, you do you. Alright guys, there you have it. Leave a comment below and let me know if you prefer sweet or savory breakfast in the mornings. I think that would be interesting to find out. And also let me know if you have any favorite holiday recipes that you want to see veganized in the future. And a big thanks again to Nasoya Tofu for sponsoring this video. As always, all of the recipes in this video are linked in the description below, and I will also have a link to their store locator so you can find out where to find their silken tofu in a store near you. I hope you guys are having a great holiday season so far, and yeah, I think that's it. Enjoy your day. I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Bye!